this is the second part of the video in which we are learning about the Getx and how the Getx is working, how state management works, how navigation works, and how like dependency management works. Okay, so if I go to the Getx column, just let me go to the Getx. Flutter, let's go to the repository. This is our repository, and you can see this is mainly done state management, navigation management, and dependency management. So navigation management is I showed you that in the first part. So you can see you can read the documentation over here first after installing it, setting up it in the Get Material app, and then you can start with the state management or the navigation management. Right, so now it's time for learning about the let me check, 3 pillars basically. Yeah, so it is route management, state management, and the dependency management, right? So first we will start with the route management. Is already done, I told you about this. Now it's time for learn about the state management. So in state management we use it because like we can't like manage the state always using the state management or stateful widget or just a state set state. If you want to do something complex, you don't want to read if you want to create a reactive page, you don't need a string controller, stream builder, class, state, and for initial like each state and everything. So you can just simply go and reactive project is easy as using a set state, simple as that. So for doing that you only require 2 things. First is you can simply firstly we will like declare the variable as this, then we have to add an observation. This is an observer, and once we add the observer we can use an OBX to find like to check the changes on the observation, right? So if I want to try that out so let's create a new screen in this. So this is how the widget test basically. This is not a test at all. Let's create a new file basically. Create a .NET file and let's create a stateless widget. I create a stateless widget. Text widget. Okay. And now it's all boils down to this. In this, what we have to do is column children, and this is good to go. So let's say you have 2 buttons. In that buttons you have, let's say, there's 2 text, let's say, and you're using 2 variables in that. So basically, you can create a variable over here. Let's say it's a string, okay, and string name is equals to paragraph, and that's it. And then again we have a string. Let's say we have something else which is integer. Age is equals to 22, and then we have address, let's say. Then we have a city. We don't want a city, man. Let's say. Then we have something, let's say list of, because I want to show you a quick example of this. Okay, so list of string as hobbies, and let's say my hobbies are badminton, coding, dance, singing, dance, right? Just remove the const to make it extra. So this is the data. So now firstly you can just start with the name, right? And you can also use age as well. You can just go and add to string. You can use city, and also you can use let's say we use a list view builder, and let's say item builder, and you need a context and index. right? We basically need a build context and integer. It requires a context and integer and nothing else. Yeah, this is it. And we require an item count. We can use an item count from the above, which is hobbies.length. And finally you will return text hobbies I, let's say index over here. So this is all the data printed in the database. So now to move forward, like what you will see, if I like, let's say I have a button, custom button, and on tab I require 58. Don't like copy the button, change name, let's say. And what this button does is this button like changes the name. Name is equals to Rocco, let's say. So now one option is you can either use set state, and you will be good to go. And second option is like now I will show you how to use observation. Like this time I know about, like, you know about when this one will change. When you don't know about the change, you can use simply obx or the set state, right? But the widgets are different, something else. Even if the widgets are different, you can use the obx and it will be working in each and every screen over here. So basically what I can do is, if I can access this variable, I can just call it. Okay, so if I go back to this, okay, okay. Final thing, this can be curve, hobbies, right? So now if you want to like make it an observable variable, just have to hit obs. Now this will show you error because it is now an rx string. You can see over here. Okay, and this is our string. So you can just simply say rx. This will be fixed, and now you have to add value. So every time we create an observable variable, we can directly use that. We have to get the value of the observation variable to use it on the UI part. Okay, and for everyone you can do that, and you can just go rx. I kept it in that, so you can just copy the type from here, right? Simple. And it is when you have the data, right? Some pre-data. When you don't have a pre-data, let's say you don't have anything, still you can like have to define one data type, which is string. And what if you want to add empty data, right? Let's say, because this will be added in future, so you can just say rx string and obs. You know, it's still gonna let get error because it is a list of dynamic and this is a list of string. To do that, you can just use this arrows and add a string over here, and it will now know this list is data type of string. Okay, so now you can use the value and everything looks good. Okay, so whenever I now, so now the last thing is you just have to add the obx. So it's your choice, you can either add the obx on the widget or the component itself. So to that we just wrap on a builder obx. So I use a shortcut basically, which is control dot. You create a wrap with the builder, change the builder with obx, remove this builder and remove the context. You get the obx done. As soon as you do that, it is automatically like done and working. Okay, so this is the observable. So this is very crucial to know, like how you can create so many rx variables. So this is double controller interface, list, map, num, set, status, string, and they are endless basically, right? And depending on the needs, you can just call the observable variables. And so now I will show you the real life use case of this in my current project. So if I just show you, let's say the login page, the register page, home page, that's it. Okay, and you will see a loading. Let's say let's give you a proper example of how this works. The loading is loading basically. You can see this. Okay, let's give you a simple example. This guy. This guy. Yeah, so many variables. Yeah, look at it over here. So this is a variable we have created. This is like obx variable. What I'm doing is the value of this is false, we are able to plot it, and once all the process is done, we are just changing it back to the value false. Basically it will load when I will click on this button. So you can see if it's false, I will click, it turns to true. Whenever is loading is true, you can see I have created a loading animation, and if not true, we just show the continue button. So I just show you that false, now it's true, so now it's loading, and then after all its processing, it will again turns to false, and whenever it turns to false, it is now accessible to continue. Okay, thank you. So in the next part, I will show you how to create a controller, Getx controller, and how to manage the dependencies and how to manage the variable throughout the apps. Okay, thank you.